Welcome back, everyone, to the caster desk. Earlier, we had some technical difficulties while playing a feature on Doublelift's journey with CLG, and we've ironed out those kinks. So before we get into our next game, we're going to show you that piece in its entirety.
Every kid's dream is to be like a rock star, like play video games for money or, you know, whatever. But I saw an opportunity to do it. As everyone knows, like, I originally became a pro player because it was like the only thing I could do because I got kicked out by my parents. All they ever wanted me to do was study and like not play video games. You know, what a waste of time. You know, I was really good in school, but I had zero life skills and I was just really good at video games. I looked at people like HotshotGG at the time and I was like, this guy's making it work. I guess I just really wanted to make that dream a reality.
He was like a star player mechanically. His blitzcrank was just amazing, and he ended up, you know, surprising the world and showing the world that he was one of the best.
Back then, it was just really nice to, everyone just knew. It wasn't like an argued point, like, oh, maybe this guy's like a contender. Like, no, I was just the best.
Him and Chauster were, you know, they were probably the best bottom lane in the world. So all our team had to do was play accordingly, and we would win.
I went from a nobody to somebody who had people talking about me on Reddit. When I finally got that spotlight, I just made sure, like, wow, I'm not going to waste this. And, you know, there's people out there who actually want to see me succeed and saying really nice things about me. If I let those guys down, then that's, like, all I got. I miss that feeling, and I miss being just, like, the undisputed top. I just want to get back to that point now.
Doublelift has grown a lot in the sense that he's starting to realize that it doesn't always revolve around him.
To be honest, like, I haven't been a good team player for pretty much my whole career. I play really selfish. I used to be the solo split push AD carry, funnel me all the farm, funnel me all the kills, and I'll just 1v5. In Season 2, it was really easy for one really dominant player, a superstar, to just straight up carry the team.
Nexus turrets are falling 34 minutes into the game. A clean sweep on Counter Logic Gaming after the boot camp in Korea. It's not going to be enough to stop Curse.
I always do everything I can to make sure I show up when it matters. But in that series, like, I didn't show up. Ever since I've been a pro, it's just like lose, 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 lose. I've never gotten first in any LAN in my whole career. Slowly, we just placed worse and worse and worse. And I feel like the catalyst for all that change might have been me. I don't know exactly what it is, what I'm doing wrong, but it definitely went through my head, you know, that maybe I'm the reason why we suck. I was just walking around PAX, and that was definitely like probably one of the biggest lows of my career. And then fans will come up and say something like, hey, you know, I know you guys lost, but no matter what, Season 5, Season 10, like, I'll always be a CLG fan and I'll always support you guys. We still got fans like that, and that's what really matters. I've gotten team offers from pretty much everyone, and no matter how much they were willing to pay me, no matter what the roster is looking like, no matter if we're, you know, 1st place or 8th place, I'll pretty much always stick with CLG. I went from nobody, just a nerd, just like somebody who didn't have any friends or any skills, to who I am now because of CLG.
To me, it means a lot that Doublelift actually treats, you know, CLG as his family and not just, you know, as an organization. I really want Doublelift to finally succeed. Like, I know he's capable of it. He can, you know, bring CLG to a 1st place.
I could have put in a lot more work to help my team instead of just selfishly playing for myself. I'm not gonna like spend my whole career losing on CLG and then just like peace out. You know, I want to make sure that CLG wins before I leave. I just want to say, on this time, I was on the best team, and nobody can dispute it because here's the trophy. For as long as League is alive, I'll be in the League scene. This is the first game that I really love. I put so much time into the game, and it's like the only game that's ever kind of reciprocated and give me something back. This is the game that changed my life. Every other game I just played for fun, but this is the game that actually did something.
And coming off that last game as well, Doublelift talking about the fact that he didn't want to have that selfish playstyle. Do you think that maybe he'll get out of these solo lanes and really start helping his team?
I think that he did go into team fights relatively well, and he had such a huge CS advantage. He just wasn't able to put it together. And unfortunately, Keen was a little bit too fed, and those tanks just diving on him repetitively really hurt.
Very, very dangerous. And as you just saw in Game 1, Curse Academy took the first win, and now we're on to Game 2. And man, Curse Academy just looked so incredibly strong, and I think that if they're given another really strong teamfight comp, then they might be able to take this, and we could have our second upset.
Yeah, I think it's not more the point that they got out-comped so much, although the late-game comp was definitely in Curse Academy's favor. It was that we saw that they just piled into too many team fights in the mid-game. They had a definite advantage in the pick comp. They had a definite advantage in map control. Dexter played that early game extremely well. That kill at the blue buff, where they set it up perfectly with Link, was exactly how that team comp needed to be played. Unfortunately, Curse Academy just read it very well and didn't split up like they were in the early game. Yep,
they definitely played that one well. That led to getting 2 blue buffs as well. So really, really strong. But we are going to see, because Champ Select is happening right now. And so far, Alistair being banned away, of course, pretty standard. Nunu going to be taken off the board again. And Counterlogic Gaming did not want to see St. Vicious as Nunu.
Yeah, and Saint played so well on Kha'Zix that you would have thought maybe they would have thrown a ban in that side, but obviously they've scrimmed against the Nunu and they just don't like it.
Yep.
Syndra being taken away from Link is so important, because we saw that he didn't have the best game on Ahri, got caught a little bit, and Syndra is this long-range pick champion that would have lended herself to a similar comp, but being much safer. We see CA banning away the Maokai, obviously putting a lot of prowess in that champion. Don't want to play it and willing to first pick it.
Now Lucian going to be first picked yet again, this time for Curse Academy. You can throw that over to Keen. We have seen him playing that in solo queue in that mid lane. See whether he does decide to pick that one up. But Seraph going to get his rise, and immediately the Zillion picked up, and that was banned away last game. We'll see whether Afrimu can make moves on that, or whether it's going to go to Link.
Yeah, I would expect that to go to Link in the mid lane. He has run it before with that mana-hungry build, and it just brings back one hyper carry. Zillion Rise is a fantastic 1-2 punch. If you put the speed up on Rise and throw him into a team fight, he can go absolutely crazy with the revive.
You certainly can. What Counterlogic Gaming have also done already is picked away 2 of Yasuo's main counters. So if they put Zillion on Afrimu in that bottom lane, Yasuo could have a field day. But Keen going to be looking at this Lulu. He has played that in the mid lane, but Chris has also been playing that quite often in the top lane as well. Very flexible pick. Could also go back to the jungle. Not to the jungle. I went to Freak's Champion Spotlight for that one. No, Bunny Fufu could play that one in support if he wants to.
He definitely could. And Saint has picked up the Kha'Zix once again. So much emphasis being put on this particular champion by St. Vicious, knowing that it's a pick not only for himself, but away from Dexter.
Yeah, exactly. But Doublelift hovering the Sivir. Bit of a throwback. But Twitch is a much more likely option. One of the few North American AD carries that still favors that Twitch, wanting to get those stealth ganks happening. Of course, he could be the stealth bomber if we do have a mid lane Zillion as well, which is kind of cool.
And this is a throwback to more of a CLG Korean comp. Although, wow, the Bane's been locked in. Double looking to go hyper carry mode, old school. And the Dexter pickup on Lee Sin, I'm so excited for that. Some of his best games have been on Lee Sin. Yeah, and that was back when he was with Lemon Dogs as well. Some of his aggression, especially early on the map, have been incredible. That's probably what got him noticed by CLG as well. So looking to see him make the plays, but Keen's got his Orianna again if he wants it. Yeah, he definitely does. And this looks like a pseudo protect the AD carry comp. If they pick up a Nami here and funnel everything onto Impactful, he might be unkillable if this game gets to about 40 minutes. Yeah. Do you think that Lucian is enough of a carry for that to make sense though? I just think with some cooldown reduction and the way that he's able to pursue a fight, if they get enough members low, the resets coming through, they might be able to really do some damage here. It looks like they will be going for a Braum. Some fantastic counter engage if Seraph jumps in on that rise. That is very true. Keen still looking at that Orianna, so we are going to have Braum Orianna locked in, and this is the comp now, so Chris going to be on that Lulu in the top lane. St. Vicious happy to take that Kha'Zix into the jungle as well, so we'll see what CLG answer with, and they can either pick up a support or a mid laner here. Yeah, I would expect it to be the support. Maybe a Nami coming out. Or even a top lane. Who knows? Potentially a top laner. We have seen actually, yeah, that's a very good point. Link does play mid lane Rise. Yeah. We've seen another very strong team fighting comp coming out on the side of Curse Academy. Once again, just looking for 5v5 fights. This one a little bit stronger in the mid game because of how Lulu can augment someone's health and the knock-up that can come through. But Counterlogic Gaming taking so much time on this last pick. They're really thinking it over.
Yeah, do you think that if the Ahri gets picked up again, do you think that would be an intelligent move? Because people seem to not be able to stop picking Ahri.
I love the Lulu pickup. The Nami pickup. That is such a better team fight comp. And now it's the 2 hyper carries on the side of CLG.
Strong lane as well in Doublelift and Aphromoo with these champions. Doublelift on this Vayne. Now that the Tidecaller's Blessing's available, that is going to make this this Vayne so much stronger in that early game as well.
So the idea is that Braum is a counter pick to Nami, obviously, with getting that punch through, able to get the stun down early. The Winter's Bite just does so much damage and her health pool is low. However, Aphromoo's mechanics for a support player are so good. I think that they would take anything into a Joy lane and think they could do well with it. And with the 2 augmentations onto Doublelift, he could, once again, now the shoe's on the other foot. Counterlogic Gaming have a great protect the Doublelift comp in this.
Yeah, they certainly do. And if Doublelift now goes into a side lane, manages to get that gigantic CS lead over Impactful that he had last game, he's now on Vayne, and we know that Doublelift can make plays on Vayne. This is his... He was sort of the first one to ever make her popular and make her look like this ridiculous outplay champion.
And this time there is no one that can stop him in the split push. You can't throw anyone on the side of Curse Academy 1v1 versus a late game Vayne. He will absolutely destroy their lineup.
Yeah, he certainly will. And yeah, that is going to force Curse Academy to really make these fights around Dragon and around these objectives so that they can get things through. Do you think that their siege comp's going to be a little bit better this time? Do you think that they can fight around turrets instead?
They have great wave clear, and the Lulu ult does lend itself towards turret dives a little bit more. However, there's not that much they can do late game.
Yeah, but we are onto the Rift, everyone. This time, Curse Academy on our blue side. And CLG picking up the red side of Curse. Of course, Curse Academy winning on the red side last game, which is arguably not necessarily the strongest side either. So see whether CLG can turn it around and pick up a win for themselves. But I'm just excited to see Doublelift on Vayne, to be honest.
Once again, we do see standard lanes coming out. Nice spread across the whole map, and they will be going into the 2v2. So maybe looking to put some early game pressure onto this Vayne. However, the late game scaling that comes out of CLG is so terrifying.
Yeah, with the range nerf that that Lucian has copped, do you think that's going to mean that Doublelift's time is going to be a little bit nicer there in the bottom lane?
Yeah, it could be, depending on how much some Vicious chooses to focus this lane. As we see some nice wards coming out of Curse Academy, just scouting where Dexter will be starting on the map.
He's making some aggressive movements here into the Curse Academy jungle. Bunny Fufu taking a bit of damage. So CLG drawing first blood, theoretically, as far as damage is concerned. It's a good way to come back into the matchup.
Afro picking up all that early game gold.
Oh, yeah.
From that support item. And it looks like mirror wards, both junglers looking to start on the top side of the map. So converging bot lane, and we might see some very early action.
Yeah, I think Dexter, reading the fact that St. Vicious probably wants to keep down this bottom lane from CLG. And, of course, Lee Sin generally wanting to start in his red buff anyway. So we'll see whether there is going to be any of this 3v3 action happening.
Yeah, but there's so many lanes that you want to hit early from CLG. You don't want Rise to get ahead.
Yeah, true.
You definitely don't want Zillion to get ahead, because once he gets to level 6, he's so much harder to gank. So Saint's going to have work cut out for him this time around to really impact the map.
Yeah, do you think that Chris is enough of a lane bully on this Lulu to really get Seraph out of his comfort zone?
Lulu matches up okay, going to be able to shove the lane early and ensure that a lot of mana is expended on the side of Seraph. But with that teleport picking up the tier and then the catalyst, he's going to be absolutely fine 1v1.
And he doesn't mind falling a little bit behind early on anyway, just because he is Rise, he is able to scale so well into that late game. Chris actually taking a fair bit of damage from Seraph here at this point. So who's the lane bully here? I'm not even sure.
This is the way the lane goes. He's just trying to shove it in, make Seraph CS under turret at that point, because he has to use his abilities to CS. He's not going to be able to harass whatsoever.
Yep, Chris actually hitting that level 2, so now has that health fix available to him as well. Little Ant's going to land across Seraph, and Chris answering back quite nicely.
As we do see, the lane's just going to be shoved completely into the turret here. Impactful's already taken some damage in the bottom lane. Look how aggressive Aphromoo is.
Yeah, Afromu playing so far up, getting all that presence, of course. Impactful now having to drink his only potion, and if they keep his health bar low, then Doublelift is just going to have such an easy time in this lane.
Yeah, and as he's going to be rushing the Blade of the Ruined King on Vayne with the sustain lane with Nami as well.
Yes.
At about 10 minutes, this lane is going to be
strategy, isn't it?
Unkillable on the side of Braum because he just doesn't have any sustain to keep Impactful in there. The poke coming through from Nami might be enough to keep Doublelift safe.
Yeah, and Impactful trying to answer with these piercing lights, but as you said, that ebb and flow just really, really strong coming out of Afromu. You can just keep Doublelift topped up. But they are pushing out this wave. Is it going to mean that St. Vicious does have an opportunity to come into this bottom lane?
It actually looks like he wants to visit mid right now.
Yep. Link just going to pop that speed up. He's going to be A-okay, not going to use any summoner spells, but I think that St. Vicious was probably a little bit optimistic.
Yeah, I think that he was expecting a little bit more surprise out of Link. And Keen was very far back. As we see Dexter visiting top lane for a potential gank. Seeing Saint, of course, mid lane and then heading to the top side means that there is a potential for counter gank. So he's just going to go clear his double golems, potentially look for a gank if Saint re-emerges on the map.
Yeah, Bunny Fufu soaking a lot of that damage with the Unbreakable. Definitely handy. Aqua Prison not going to land, but CLG. So much pressure in this lane, and it's been a long time since I've seen a Vayne with that much pressure. Yeah,
and Saint snuck into this top lane, and as you can see, they don't have eyes on Dexter at the moment, but he is back in base, so this could be the first potential gank setup on the side of Curse Academy, as Seraph's just pushed his lane back out.
Yeah, it's given St. Vicious a chance to move up into this top side rush as well. He has leapt out. Seraph's actually taking so much damage here. Does, of course, have the flash, but not forced to use it. Rune Prison on his way out as well, and he's got teleport. He can just get back into this lane.
Yeah, he needs to move a little bit further back to back though. He's going to miss out on a whole wave, unfortunately, of the cannon creep. Much cooler head play out of Seraph than what we saw in the Dignitas series.
Yeah,
we actually saw him against that window as Rise get camped extremely hard by Crumbs. So nice work there to not burn the flash. Has to burn the teleport, but that's going to be up before the dragon. So really nothing gained from that gank from St. Vicious.
Yep, and Dexter able to steal away the Wraiths here as well, already with that nice little ward there in the Wraith brush, so just so that he makes sure he knows exactly what's going on.
And Doublelift has started this game exactly where he left off, already building up a 10 CS advantage, and it's only growing further. And they're just harassing so well in this lane, and they're full life the whole time.
It is terrifying to be a Curse Academy member, and you can imagine that St. Vicious is feeling a little bit of pressure to come into that bottom lane as well. So now that he's tried his hand on the top lane, unable to get that kill onto Seraph, I feel like Seraph probably won't see him again for the next little while.
Yeah, and it looks like, wow, Afro, Spidey sense tingling so well. Although Saint does see the ward, so he might feel a little bit aggressive to go in.
Yeah, Bunny Fufu's actually come straight up. Does manage to hit the Winter's Bite onto Doublelift, but nice bubble in response from Afromu, and St. Vicious just unable to get into these fights.
Yeah, much calmer play out of the side of CLG. And look at Dexter's positioning right there for the counter gank if they did overextend into that. So Doublelift feeling extremely safe in this lane, and 20 CS in the lead.
Yeah, you can see that piercing light immediately getting nullified here by Afromu. And this is just going to get more and more terrifying as the game goes on.
And the Zillion lending himself with that passive, the level advantage that will eventually come through from having that passive on the map, just means that even if they go even in these lanes, they're going to hit their mid-game power spike with levels so much sooner than Curse Academy.
And we can already see that Seraph has hit that level 6 point, now pops it onto Chris. Of course, Chris, having shields galore, is going to be able to keep himself okay, and has now hit that level 6, so Wild Growth is available. Lulu has become very difficult to gank. Dexter is on this top side of the map if they did want to try for it. Link now bombing up these waves. Zillion pretty handy at killing creeps once he does have a few levels into that bomb.
Yeah, one of the few champions that only has one damaging spell, so of course can use that rewind to get a double bomb off. As we see Chris go a little bit aggressive, does get the better end of that trade.
Yeah, finally hitting that Glitter Lance on top of Seraph is going to give him the advantage. And look at that, perfectly doing damage to those cast creeps as well, so that he can farm them out.
And even with the gank that came into Seraph, he's got a 10 CS advantage in his own right, so he's playing the top lane much better, and he scales phenomenally well into the late game. If he becomes a late game Rise, that machine gun Rise that we've seen so much, with all the mana that can come out and the tankiness, he could be the front liner that they lacked in the last game that could blow up some people on the side of Curse Academy.
That's exactly right. And if he does want to be that front line, he can wear the bombs on his head as well. Feeling like it? Of course, Dexter with the resonating strike into the backline could probably be better for that as well. And that's another thing that we've got to mention is the fact that they have that entry into the backline that they can deliver bombs to Impactful.
And with the red buff up, once again, Link and Dexter are, as a duo, looking to contest this. Wow, great bubble.
That was an amazing double bubble coming through. Double F trying to get some damage back as well. St. Vicious now. Oh, there's the double shockwave. Link now forced to use his ultimate. Immediately takes down St. Vicious as well. Dexter trying to get out of there, but why he went back into that one, that was some interesting play. Nice little smite, just to try and get a bit of health back from that W, but he knew he was dead, just trying all the tricky plays that he could.
Yeah, not wanting to lead the rest of the team on top of Link in that play. Didn't want to try to kill back. Was able to pick up first blood for himself, so that's nice for him. However, Chris burned the TP, and Sarah still has that on. As we take another look at this, great bomb from Link, but Saint jumping away and the shockwave.
Yep.
Wow, that damage is so unexpected out of an early game Orianna. And from here, it was just a slow pursuit of Dexter to his death. As you said, cheeky smite with that passive to try and keep himself alive a little bit longer. But now, Chris doesn't have his teleport for the next dragon fight.
Yeah, or for the first dragon fight, of course. Dragon hasn't gone down yet. Of course, CLG now with the dragon vision. So able to capitalize from the fact that they got that first blood. And Link was around, invading incredibly deep. Of course, Double Lift now only 900 gold away from that Blade of the Ruined King.
And the vision control on the bottom half of the map for CLG is fantastic this game. 4 wards around Dragon and the Wraith camp on their side. They know exactly where St. Vicious is at all times.
Yeah, Link now hiding, knows that he's not spotted, he's under that pink ward. St. Vicious has found himself in this cute little brush here, and it's the standoff.
Yeah, and they have sent Chris bottom, so they are looking to pick up the first dragon, although they have been spotted, and without ward control, you have to think that's a free teleport for Seraph into the backline.
Oh, there's the tidal wave coming through. Actually, St. Vicious jumping away from that one, not going to hit anybody. Curse Academy backing off nicely. It has deterred them from doing this dragon. Don't even manage to kill that ward.
And with King's Shockwave back up, you have to think the Curse Academy in this part of the game have the stronger team fight. Vayne, of course, will scale well. However, Lucian, as more as that caster AD carry, could get a lot of shots off in this fight, and the culling will be back off cooldown in no time. Yeah,
the range advantage of that culling as well, once that is back up, is going to really give himself some power.
It looks like they're looking to trade turret tower, but Double Lift's gone bot, and Impactful's gone mid lane. They're just looking to get some work done, and you have to think that the mid lane turret at this point of the game is so much more important.
Yeah, that is true. Both of these AD carries now trying to get some work done, but you can see Impactful already managing to use that Lightslinger passive incredibly well in order to take that one down. Double Lift has finished his as well.
And the whole of Curse Academy now can just leave and go mid lane if they want. That wave is hitting the tier 2 turret. Looks like they do want to fight 5v5, however.
Yep, Curse Academy believe in their team fighting abilities, and after their last game, you can imagine why. Starting up this dragon again, CLG with the Sonic Wave resonating strike into the smite. They do have a lot of dragon steel potential. We've seen Dexter do it before.
Bunny's positioning as the main frontliner for his team at this point of view is phenomenal. He's just up the front, looking for the Lulu ult on him when he does come through. And this is really a standoff, whoever makes the first mistake. Link looking for some poke.
Yeah, everyone's sort of just trading dragon aggro as well. It's almost like a bit of like a game of Pong where they're just sending the dragon back and forward to each other.
And once again, Impactful left to push up that middle lane, denying more farm into that turret, and he's going back for another time. However, the bottom lane wave is growing massive.
Yeah, CLG, they may want to look to actually start a fight here. As you can see, Link trying to do a bit of damage there. Command Protect doing a lot of work trying to keep the Curse Academy members healthy here. As we see double shields coming through. Bunny Fufu gets caught up by the Rune Prison, but he doesn't really care about that. He's the frontliner. Culling coming through again. Impactful's found his way back into this fight. And these guys have been at this for so long.
Yeah, it's just back and forward. Unfortunately, Afro moves ability.
Oh, yeah, finally we've got the jump. There it is, the double shockwave with the massive combo. Dexter tries to come in and get the work done, but it's a really, really nice chrono shift on top of everyone. CLG's health bars are so low. Curse Academy now with 2 kills already. That fight looked fantastic for Curse Academy. That combo was brilliant.
Look at the communication on the side of Curse Academy. That was a no to go in split seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Completely catching CLG by surprise. Impactful going to be able to pick up this wave in the bottom lane as well is so important for him. They're really rolling now, and that's once again a fantastic team fight. All right, so we'll take another look at it. We see that straight away, as soon as Saint goes in, the Wombo combo happens. All ultimates going down, popping them up. And once again, Link, having to ult himself, just gets blown up. Dexter looks for the insect, unfortunately isn't able to get it. And wow, Bunny's Unbreakable was the star of that team fight. I didn't see it in live, but he blocked all of Afro's damage coming through onto Impactful.
Yep. Bunny Fufu, positioning-wise, has been absolutely fantastic. That stand behind me really getting him to the places that he wants. And St. Vicious's engage there was just so strong. But now, I think we're going to come back and do the same face-off again.
Yeah, but unfortunately, this time, Seraph's teleport is on cooldown, so I don't think that CLG can fight this. Doublelift and Afro need to be careful, nearly getting caught there, and the teleport's in.
Yeah, teleport from Chris coming into the backside. Dexter takes half his health. Now Link just going to push up this wave. They're going to concede this dragon as well. Curse Academy just team fighting so strongly today. It's been very impressive. Seraph trying to answer with a top lane turret, but Rise not necessarily known for his ability to kill turrets.
Definitely not. Being that AP top laner will take a little bit of time, and Lulu just moves around the map so quickly. So first dragon going to the side of Curse Academy, as well as the first one team fight. Once again, they just look so strong in this mid-game part of the game.
Yeah, and you have to admit that their team comp does lend itself to these mid-game fights. And we'll see whether CLG can utilize the fact that they have the likes of Vayne and Rise in these late-game skirmishes. But so far, looking fantastic for Curse Academy. And their late game's not bad. I mean, they've, of course, still got Keen on this Orianna who can do so much work. And we've seen him just melt through people in that chip.
Yeah, and he's off to another great start. 2-0 on 1, 120 CS at 14 minutes.
Yep.
When you consider the standoff that took place around Dragon for so long, once again, great as we have to match it in the top lane.
Yeah, Seraph going down so low. Wild Growth being forced out onto Chris, but look at the damage coming through. Seraph had the ultimate as well. Link picks up the kill. Nice bombs coming in, and that is how you use Zilean as well. Make sure you bait someone into these fights.
However, once again, fantastic map movement on the side of Curse Academy. They try and get some pressure mid lane. However, the collapse does come through from CLG, so they're going to have to back off.
Yeah, they've got that the speed up from Link. He can get himself to where he needs to be. Lickety split. Ambitious now low on mana, but he is still going to be able to clear out this wave. And again, we've got players going back to lanes. Wait until that next dragon game of Pong before we get any more action. You could imagine. We'll see what they decide to do, of course. Almost a 1,000 gold lead for Curse Academy. And you could imagine that CLG is pretty scared at this stage because they haven't won a 5-on-5 fight against this team today.
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, look, in the 5v5s, it looks like the one commanding voice of Curse Academy is just coming through, and Bunny is exactly where he needs to be in these fights. Even when he was getting picked off, he was landing hooks, he was getting his box out before he went down. So fantastic play from the support player on the side of Curse Academy, really stepping up for his team.
He certainly is. And the Glacial Fissure as well in that last fight was absolutely fantastic. The way that he's managing to block a lot of Doublelift's damage with these the Silver Bolts as well. But we'll see whether Doublelift can do his split push strat. Now that he's got that Blade of the Ruined King, of course, one of the best split pushes in the game as Vayne. But CLG still feel like they want to put a little bit of pressure on with him.
I thought that Dexter was going to go, then he landed the Sonic Wave onto Chris, and this is a problem late game for Curse Academy. Who do you send up against Vayne?
Yep.
Because Lucian can't win that fight unless he gets extremely far ahead, and Doublelift now forgoes boots even and picks up Blade of the Ruined King.
Yep.
He can just slow people, chase for days, and that attack speed with Silver Bolt procs is going to just mean so much consistent damage.
Not to mention, Seraph now has his Rod of Ages completed, and I think when he was playing Rise in the game against Dignitas, he completed that about the 22-minute mark. So now he's got it for 4:17 minutes. He's looking set to be this Rise to really do the damage in these fights, which is so useful because now they've got these double threats they have to get rid of on the side of Curse Academy.
And the problem is if you focus one, they're just going to get Zilean ulted. Link's going to bring them straight back to life, and you're going to have to deal with a full HP hyper carry. That's the difference between mid Zilean and support Zilean. Late game, when Link is bringing these characters back, they're going to be completely topped off and ready to fight again.
Almost has that Athene's finished up. Of course, Zilean, one of the most mana-hungry champions in the game, so I wanted to go with Athene's and Seraph's Embrace.
And this is nearly a mirror image of last game. CLG rotating around the map, picking up 2 of the outer turrets, looking to make it a 3 with a nice push in the mid lane as well now. So losing a dragon fight, getting some good map vision down, especially in the bottom side of the jungle, and able to rotate around and pick up some free turrets for themselves.
And they didn't get perturbed either by the fact that they lost that dragon fight. They've now clawed their way back, and you can see it's only about a 400 gold lead. This doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, at 20 minutes of the game, this is completely even. They have 3 members up in the top lane supporting Doublelift, and Chris extends a little bit too far, thinking that he's just split pushing solo. He might be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's the thing. CLG always seem to have members around when Doublelift is split pushing. Chris now forced off this one. They are going to be able to press at this advantage, but Chris able to wave clear this one through.
And sorry guys, there was of course a ward on the blue buff, so they knew exactly who was there.
Nice steal away of the white as well, Keen. Nice play, man.
Able to pick that one up, and Link is relentless in this mid lane, continually shoving it into turret, although still has a 15 CS discrepancy against Keen, and he's farming brilliantly on this champion.
Yeah, Keen pretty good at farming on Orianna. He's had a fair bit of practice, of course. Oh, Impactful actually taking a lot of damage from Seraph. Seraph just walking away from the culling as well. Impactful forced to use the summoner heal, but Seraph's still going. Teleport coming through. Chris coming in from the backside. We'll see whether Seraph can survive this. Forced to use the flash. Glitterlance is available as well. We'll see whether Link can get here in time. But he'll make it under his toe.
Yeah, Seraph is able to stroll away. Link coming down in support as well, so he's in no danger whatsoever.
That was a lot of just Seraph walking during that whole engage. Ooh, Dexter narrowly misses.
And now in 20 seconds when the dragon's back up, Seraph has the teleport advantage, so he can come into this top lane, continue to push. Wow, Afro moves up at half health. And another, wow, Dexter's really got his eye in now. He's hitting Sonic Wave after Sonic Wave.
And we've been saying, Dexter, get back on your Lee Sin, and he's done it. He's gone in for the insect play onto Keen, of all people. There's the shockwave, gonna hula hoop onto no one. Afrumo happy to take up this turret. Bunny Fooper now, the Doublelift show coming in, and CLG pick up 2 kills and a turret on the inner side of the map, but over on the other side, St. Vicious picking up a drag.
And that's the spread up rise that we're talking about. Look at him run with that speed up, with his ultimate, not able to get in there, but wow, the mechanics of Doublelift there, flashing the Orianna roll, knocking Bunny into that turret as well. His Vayne play is so fun to watch.
It is incredible. I thought he was going to bring out Blitzcrank this time, based on the Afromu stream, but no, bringing out his old school Vayne, looking better than ever. Outer turret in the mid lane is going to go down as well, so that's 2 turrets for a dragon. Off that particular situation, and CLG looking brilliant here.
As well as 2 kills picked up as well. So as we see this again, wow, let's just look at the mechanics. Dexter going in for the insect kick here with a flash. And then from here, it's just a Doublelift show. Pops his ultimate, flashes the shockwave.
And the double bubble as well from Afromu.
Gets the condemn, and wow, perfect aggro juggling on that turret, as well as just some fantastic mechanics from the bottom lane of CLG.
Yep, and Link and Seraph were almost around to that dragon order to stop that one as well, but St. Vicious thankfully managing to pick that one up for his team, so only 1,000 gold in the lead of CLG.
And wow, look at the vote coming back through into CLG's favor, 78%.
That is the power of the Doublelift fields from that video, my friend.
As soon as they get this late game combo, you have to think that the time is slowly running out on Curse Academy. Even though the gold is even, if this gets to 30 minutes with even gold, it's no longer an even game.
That's true. Curse Academy do manage to pick up the outer turret in the top lane as a bit of a consolation prize, and that has evened everything up. But as you mentioned, the late game scaling is just ridiculous on CLG.
Nice Scar award coming out from Dexter there, able to jump over the bush, and wow, he's caught Impactful.
Yeah, Impactful actually using the Relentless Pursuit a little bit late, and Seraph comes in with the explosion.
And this is a Dexter we love to see.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
So aggressive over that wall. Once again, fantastic mechanics, setting up Seraph right there, and oh, this is getting into danger zone.
It certainly is, and it's so good to see Dexter back on this champion and playing it to the way that we'd expect the old Dexter to play it. So, okay, now taking away the Wolves, not quite as flashy. They're definitely doing well, and you can see the defensive warding here from Curse Academy. I mean, the gold isn't that different, but they are feeling the pressure from CLG right now.
And we spoke about how Curse Academy once again wants 5v5 team fights. with Seraph and Double Lift at this point of the game, they never have to group up again. No. If they try and push in on them, they have so much movement speed. Baron can go down very quickly with a Vayne. Yeah. And wow, they might have caught Keen here.
Yeah, Keen in a lot of trouble. Forced to use that flash. There's the shockwave onto Double Lift, takes him down to half health, but there's the ult from Zilean. He doesn't care, and that's going to be Dexter picking up the kill. And this is that's 2 Double Lifts per team fight.
And wow, taking out the mid laner on the side of Curse Academy means they can go straight back to what they were doing, bait this Baron once again because of how quickly they do it, and Bunny needs to be careful.
Oh, does land the Winter's Bite. Oh, Chris actually gets caught by the Sonic Wave. There's an instant wild growth on himself into the double bubble. That kick was incredible, but nice culling onto Afromu. He's going to pay the price for that really cool looking play. Double Lift happily out on the backside of this fight. And it's going to be Curse Academy running away with a 1-for-1 after Keen fell down.
But all the while, Seraph pushing in on this bottom lane, able to pick up even more map pressure on the side of CLG. And that's what they've done extremely well this whole game. Yeah, they might have picked up 1 kill, but someone has to go answer Seraph.
And CLG again baiting this one out. Bunny Fufu now in a little bit of trouble. Sonic Wave not going to land this time. And the attack speed of Double Lift enough to be able to clear out that ward. But Seraph, he's still here, just throwing these tiny, insignificant lightning bolts at this turret.
And slowly but surely, that's going down. It might even fall this minion wave. And without actually doing anything over the map, just by pressure, they pick up a tier 2 bottom.
Fantastic work by CLG controlling this map. You can imagine that their sights will be on that inner turret in the mid lane next, unless they want to siege out these inhibitor turrets. But with a Vayne on their team, their siege not quite as strong.
An interesting build coming out of here from Double Lift. He's actually going to pick up a Trinity Force.
Yeah.
Second item on Vayne. He's going to have so much chase potential with that Phage proc, as well as the Zilean speed up, and the tumble into the Sheen proc is going to be fantastic. I love that pickup out of him.
Yeah, we've been seeing this a lot over in Asia, actually, the Trinity Force pickup second, but we'll see how it works for Double Lift. He actually moved back to going Bloodthirster on Vayne a little while, so more than happy to change up the builds. You can imagine he gets a little bit bored, a little bit like Froggens and Nivea, you know, Warmogs, Magi's, that sort of thing.
Can just build whatever he wants.
Whatever he
wants.
Again,
just Seraph into this bottom lane with teleport up. Chris has got his available as well, of course, both champions being able to stop that teleport.
But look at the 1-3-1. They've, of course, got Double Lift as well, and who's going to answer?
Yeah, and the vision control by CLG this game is in the exact same spot without the mistakes that were coming out in team fight. So look how much control they have at this point. Curse Academy's only choice is to push the mid lane and hope they get a vision of someone.
Yep, Dragon's up in 40 seconds, but I don't think either team are focusing on that. Winter's Bite does hit Dexter, but nothing going to come from that one. Curse Academy with aggressive movements. Actually, Dexter could be in a little bit of trouble. Forced to use that safeguard onto a ward.
But once again, the sustain that comes out of Afromu at this point of the game with his chalice, he's never going to go picking it up. And Seraph, wow, he's running down Chris in this bottom lane.
Yep, just walking at him, gets the room prison, but as you can see in the mid lane, Dexter actually, there's the insect play again. They kick Bunny Fufu, but look at the Unbreakable, the double shockwave as well onto Afromu and Double Lift. And actually, Afromu takes the ultimate from Ling. Now Double Lift gets taken down by Impactful. Curse Academy have full reign of this fight, and that whole series of plays was incredible.
And because Seraph had chosen to engage on Chris there, wasn't able to impact the fight. As we see a double bomb taking a lot of damage.
Oh, yep, that's going to do it.
But great overall catch there on the side of Curse Academy. They can translate this into a dragon, and all of a sudden they're back up in gold.
Yeah, they're way back into this game as well. CLG cannot afford to make those mistakes. Do you think Link putting his ultimate on top of Afromu that fight was the right idea?
Definitely not. When you saw how quickly they blew up Double Lift, they were holding some attacks back there. Didn't want to chase into the Zilean ultimate, as we see the replay. So, okay, at this point, they decide to try and Insect Saint, but he stealths at the perfect time, and they have to choose Bunny instead. And with the Unbreakable up, the shockwave that comes out, that's just not the target you want to hit. And unfortunately, with the ultimate going onto Afro, it just meant there was no protection for Double Lift, who flashed straight into that piercing light and was taken down.
Yeah, that was an absolutely flawlessly executed team fight by Curse Academy yet again. And I'm starting to think that it's not anything to do with luck at this stage. These guys are just this good at team fighting.
Yeah, and it comes from that single voice, as we keep saying.
Yeah.
But that stealth from Saint Vicious just started the team fight so well. As soon as you took the insect target away, kicking the tankiest member into your team.
Oh, wow. Seraph is such a monster. I was about to say Chris is dead, but he does have the wild growth. Seraph actually flashing for the Rune Prison. He's going to be able to pick this one up. Nicely played, and this is the Korean top laner that we've been waiting to see.
And we spoke about it, the 1-3-1 split push. They take a turret mid, sure, but Double Lift and Seraph are pushing now, and the collapse will come through, but they can't get to both sides of the map at the same time.
And you can see Curse Academy continuing to try and rotate around this map quickly enough, but they just can't do it.
And Seraph now on the inhibitor turret. They have to send someone
in the Grand
It will kill this in 15 seconds if they're not careful. And then there's so much Baron pressure because of the teleport.
Certainly is. Seraph actually popping his ultimate just to make sure that he clears this one out as quickly as possible, but not quite enough minions. Oh, it takes an extra turret hit. Yeah, so he can get that extra 3 damage onto the turret.
Okay, so not quite dead yet. 3/4 of the way down, of course, that will regen up. But this wave clear that comes out of Link, as well as the split pushing capability of Double and Seraph, has just split Curse Academy across the map. And when they're not team fighting, they don't look like they have the answers. As soon as they go back to 5v5 team fighting, you give it to Curse Academy.
Well, in that last team fight, I believe Seraph was still in the bottom lane.
Yeah, but 1-3-1, it just looks like CLG have a better team comp.
Yeah, Seraph waiting now. Chris might actually have a little bit of deja vu at this stage. Link's coming in as well. Chris actually manages to get away from the Rune Prison. There's the slow, and that slow is ridiculous as well. Wild Growth was thankfully back up, and St. Vicious is now here. That's a really nice glitter land. St. Vicious actually flashing onto this one. Link's going to have to use his ultimate. He's going to come back with a lot of health. He has a lot of AP. Seraph actually teleporting out of there. They're going straight to the Baron off this one, and Link is running them around the Rosie. Look at Chris. Does he have enough of a shield to try and take this one? No! He's going to go down. That's going to be a 1-for-1 in the bottom lane. But Curse Academy, 3-man shockwave, immediately deleting CLG off this map. Double Lift goes down. Triple kill for Keen, and they get the Baron. That was incredible by Keen.
You thought with Link's kite how they dragged 2 members of Curse Academy to the bottom lane, that they had that Baron secured, but what a shockwave coming out of Keen. Able to clean up the whole fight. This might mean an inhibitor in the mid lane, and wow, from CLG looking so in control.
Oh yeah.
Curse Academy, 2 team fights, they're back in the driver's seat.
And Keen with that Void Staff, just a needlessly large rod, didn't even have his Rabbiton's Death Cap, and he just looked like he turned CLG to butter in that fight. Inhibitor goes down in the mid lane, and they have the Baron. This is Curse Academy with a massive lead at the 30-minute mark. And this has just been looking like the CLG show, but not anymore.
Yeah, we spoke about how if it was even at 30 minutes, CLG had the edge. Yeah. Now there's nearly a 6,000 gold advantage to Curse Academy. So they're going to be able to push group up now that that inhibitor's exposed and just push through turrets.
Not to mention the fact that they have the Baron buff as well, giving them so much golden stats. But let's have a look at this beautiful shockwave again.
Wow, that culling out of Impactful just got it all started, and then the shockwave. That is just beautiful, melting 3 people. Double tried his best, but he's exhausted at this point, gets taken down, and that's just an easy Baron on the side of Curse Academy that led to the inhibitor.
And Bunny instantly exhausted Double Lift as well after using his ultimate. So really, really well played on the side of Curse Academy. And see whether CLG can rally after this one, because we know after the, of course, we do harp on about it a fair bit, but after the Dignitas games, they were ahead for a lot of those, and it seemed to me like it was Throws that was keeping Dignitas in there. But Double Lift now going for the 1v2. The culling's going to come through, and Impactful likes the chances. Afromoo now in a lot of trouble. There's the Glacial Fissure onto Dexter, but he's a bit of a tricksy guy, and he's going to be able to kick his way out of there.
Yeah, the teleport came in from Chris as well. He wasn't able to get the zone that he wanted. He's still chasing. Nice bubble for the disengage. Wow, Saint's still there though.
Yeah, Saint actually using his ultimate here as well. Manages to get the slow onto Dexter, but there's another safeguard to get him to safety, and look at all of those shields.
Yeah, great disengage coming out of CLG there. Of course, Nami lending herself so well to being able to run away, but they're just going to face tank this turret. And the result is all they need. They've got another turret.
Yeah, they do, and they've got so many shields to tank this one up as well. You can see Chris using that one on himself in order to tank that one up. And they might not be finished.
Chris, the only member without that Baron buff. The minion wave is coming in. And wow, what a turnaround. Once again, 2 team fights go the way of Curse Academy, and so much gold up on the map. They just look to push the advantage so hard.
See Impactful able to get the auto attacks off on this turret as well, dodging the Aqua Prison as well. It's down to half health. We'll see whether CLG can make something of this. Double Lift trying to get some work done, but he's very far forward. Culling not going to actually land on him either, so that's a nice ultimate that is on cooldown. Aqua Prison again not going to land, but that turret's dead, and look at this inhibitor. It's going down so quickly. Impactful finishes that one up, and they get an inhibitor for their Baron. Curse Academy are just pulling everything out. 8,000 gold now the lead.
Yeah, this is a perfect mirror image of last
Exactly.
match. Swings in Curse Academy's favor, then back to CLG. 2 misplays in team fights, and now just so much of a lead. This might be insurmountable. As we see the gold graph, wow, that is just the story of the game. That is a 2-minute window where they've just exploded.
Yep. And you can see it in their play as well. They know exactly when they gain these advantages, and going to be able to pick up the Dragon here as well. Probably stretch out to about a 10,000 gold lead at this stage. And with 2 inhibitors down, this is going to be so hard for CLG, and you can't help but draw the comparison, like you said. It's just looking like the same game.
Yeah, and it's just not playing their comp to their strength. They tried to go the split push, they group up for 1 team fight, and they get absolutely exploded. And once again, Curse Academy, so controlled. They could have tried to push that bottom lane. They go, no, we're just going to pick up the Dragon. We're going to go back. We're going to turn that gold lead into so many items.
Yep.
And now we're just going to head bot, and we're just going to push the last remaining turret.
Not to mention the fact that Keen has looked so impressive, or Kian, as he likes to be called. It's just a little bit more difficult for us to say. Of course, on this Orianna, and I just cannot see him playing this one again in the series because he just can't be given it to him.
Yeah, they spoke about Bunny's Thresh, of course, that was brilliant, but he's looked just as solid on form. But we haven't seen Kane play anything but Orianna in a few games.
Yeah.
You'd think that you would put him in an uncomfortable position and take that one away for the rest of the series.
It's true, unless they know something we don't from scrims or something like that, not wanting to give him certain different champions, but he's picking his basically the pick of the litter at this stage. You just can't play Syndra because that's the one that's being banned out, but that's mostly his lane.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like Curse Academy are actually marching up the mid lane here. Not wanting... so they're going for the inner hit.
Yeah.
And wow, just so much poke coming back and forward with those Banshee's Veils, able to just negate the ability of Dexter to get in for an engage.
Yeah. Oh, man. That was such a good goal by Dexter. Just to pick that gap. Oh, Double Lift actually taking a lot of damage from Dissonance. Half health now as the fight actually engages. Seraph trying to do his work as the gigantic tank, having to use that Seraph's Embrace. Double Lift now trying to get the damage down, dodging really, really well. But as you can see, this whole while the inhibitor's going to fall. Oh, that's actually a shockwave to immediately take Afro out of this fight. But it is going to mean that that is on cooldown. CLG trying to chase, potentially. St. Vicious now getting caught in a really interesting situation there, getting kicked and leaping at the same time. Bunny Fufu now trying to get into this fight. Glacial Fissure was still up though. Dexter now taken so low, but have they bitten off too much that they can shoot? Double It trying to kite around. The members are so low on the side of Curse Academy, and the ultimate still available from Link. So Seraph is going to be alive yet again, and these are the damage dealers from CLG.
Yeah, so the 3 main people up, but they do get the Nexus turret, so well done by Curse Academy to continue that fight
and
for
they only
the
lost
perfect
one
amount of time. Only losing 1, picking up 2, and they can just go back shop once again. Baron's up in about a minute, they can return there, and the game's just in their control. Alright, so they see Dexter's ultimates on cooldown, so they just go so hard. Great Glacial Fissure, but Double Lift is getting free attacks this whole time. Able to turn around, they do pick up Bunny Fufu. However, the ultimate comes out from Link, able to save Seraph's life. And they're at late game stage, however, it just doesn't look like they can get off what they need in team fights.
That's true, although I feel if Double Lift had have fallen in that fight, and if any of those skills had have hit him, apart from the first attack dissonance combo, then that could have meant...
Wow, and Link's been caught.
Oh, Link is in a lot of trouble. Does have his ultimate, but is just not long for this world. Keen going to be able to pick that one up, and he definitely is unstoppable at this stage. And now they're going to be able to easily transition into this inner turret, and Link, I don't know what he was doing.
And a 50-second death timer, that is so important for Curse Academy. And at this point of the game,
that's basically 2 deaths.
Yeah, Link is arguably the most important part of this composition, able to bring someone back to life. So pushing in for this inhibitor, you have to think that they've got this. And this is going to be, once again, 3 inhibitors down on the side of Curse Academy.
Yeah, they still need to re-kill the top lane inhibitor, but now going to be able to get this one for free. CLG not able to answer at all without their Zillion. Only 17 seconds left. We'll see whether CLG can try and get some sort of control on this one, but with 3 inhibitors down, only 1 Nexus turret available, this is going to take some incredible stalling potential. And
Baron is back up, so the rotation's just going to come through straight to that objective, and no wards apart from the one just outside of Baron. So if CLG face check this, they're in a lot of trouble.
Speaking of face checking, Doublelift in so much trouble, gets whimsied as well. That's a decent Mikhails from Aphromoo, but the fight is now on. This Glacial Fissure doing so well. Two-man Shockwave in the backline. That's going to be the ultimate onto Doublelift, but he's actually going to die straight afterwards. Seraph now as well. I think that might have been a misclicked ultimate because Doublelift went down when Seraph was available. And that's going to be Keen blowing that Zhonya's just for a bit of funsies. And they are going to be able to clear out this last Nexus turret, and Keen just showing that he's the golden boy in this particular team comp because that was a massive victory and they are playing these fights so well. Congratulations to Curse Academy.
And 2-0 now in the favor of the challenger team, Curse Academy. This must be playing on the minds of CLG so hard. Having to come down from a 2-0 and a best of 5 when CLG's only won 4 out of 5 4 to 5 best of 5s.
Yeah.
In the since 2013. This must be dangerous, like really scary.
Yeah, this is getting devastating for CLG, and as well as the fact that Curse Academy are making CLG play their game every single time. I mean, it looks like CLG has found their, I mean, in the mid game, it looked like they'd found their way to actually make it work out for them. But in the end, Curse Academy just turns around every situation. They've got the 1-3-1 split push. They'll make sure that they force the situations that suits them. And CLG going for that Baron, though, that was an interesting decision.
Yeah, they thought it was the right decision at the time because there were 2 members bottom lane trying to deal with Link, and he was able to pick up one. However, the Shockwave and culling that came through just did so much AoE damage, as well as Baron's damage at the time as well. And a great exhaust out of Bunny just meant that that team fight swung completely in Curse Academy's favor.
Yeah, I think that CLG really need to look at their pick ban phase and change what they're doing, because St. Vicious has got Kha'Zix 2 games in a row, as well as Keen picking up Orianna 2 games in a row. And that is just not what you want in these games because they have been so strong, and it seems like they are so confident playing on those champions.
Yeah, and it just is the exact way that they want to play. We keep saying it. They want to 5v5 team fight. They just look more coordinated. Yeah. So maybe CLG need to go back to a team fight comp themselves and try and butt heads.
Yeah, I think that that's exactly what they're going to have to do. Rely on those mechanics. And we've been seeing from Dexter so many good plays coming out of that guy. And in the mid-game especially, on that Lee Sin, he looked like he'd never stopped playing him. It was fantastic. So there are, of course, signs of life. We'll see whether CLG can come back. But let's check in once again with Dash and the analysis desk for a look into that matchup.
It's never going to not be funny, Atlas. Thank you very much. Guys, Doublelift was unable to carry on that Vayne, the hyper carry of all hyper carries, so we have to approach it right from the get-go. CLG, it's not coming together for them, especially in that game. They had all the tools to win and couldn't close it out. I want general thoughts, and then we'll kind of dive into the specifics.
I honestly thought CLG was going to win that game. They had complete control. Seraph was split pushing, got free kills on Chris, and they were just completely dominating. They should have won that game. Just everything was going well for them, and the Baron call. That was really the thing that turned it around. And that's you can't do that. If you want to win these games, you can't do a Baron call like that. And I mean, that bottom play actually should have turned out much better. But some misplays there, and then obviously the Baron call. Then afterwards is completely wrecked the game.
Skara, your team is actually one that was at one point known for throwing at Baron consistently, but this split actually has shown incredible Baron control. So talk to me a little bit more about that Baron and the decision to go for it there and what maybe could have been done differently.
That Baron was just like, okay, well, it's just because they messed up the gank bottom. The gank bottom guaranteed, because Chris was sitting in the bush, all you had to do was run out and then W Chris, who had no flash. As soon as Seraph gets the W on Chris, he's immediately dead. They get either bot inhib or Baron, as Especial has said to me earlier. And then as soon as that happens, they win the game. But what happened was Link distracted them. Seraph TP'd in, and they tried to take Baron while the other team was coming in with extremely risky call, and they paid for it by losing the game. It was like a 4 or 5K gold swing, and then they couldn't come back from the game. A lot of that had to do with like their team comp being not that great at team fighting. They had a really split push oriented team comp, and then a lot of it was also down to like I think one of the hardest carries, Doublelift, built incorrectly. Like I feel like the Triforce build is really like an attempt at a mid game spike on Vayne when you don't really need it.
Yeah, I mean, just to touch on that, I too disagree with the Triforce build on Vayne. At that point in time, that amount of gold can essentially buy you an IE, which would have been far more effective moving into, you know, the 3-item, 4-item builds in the game.
Yeah, I'm going to raise my hand and say I don't agree with that build either. And the big reason is just that Triforce gives you tankiness, it gives you a little bit of damage, and gives you move speed. And guess who gives that for the Vayne? The Zillion, who gives you a bunch of move speed.
As well as the Nami.
Right, and the Nami. It's just Vayne was in position to carry. If he went for more damage, full damage, he probably could have carried that game. But obviously, I mean, actually think about it. They might have even been able to get that Baron too if he actually had an IE.
Very interesting. But we have to, again, give credit to Curse Academy because every time these two teams have been locked in a team fight, they have come out on top, regardless of what the gold lead is at that point. CLG only seems to be able to make picks and have small skirmishes. We're going to pull up a replay about 26 minutes into the game here in the mid lane. It's an engagement by CLG, so CLG is picking this fight, and yet it doesn't come out in their favor. Scar, I'm going to let you handle this one.
Okay, so they're coming in on this fight. They have like decent positioning for it, and Dexter tries to make like this grand play around the back, tries to flash on them. He flashes in place, messes up his flash, kicks the closest target, which is Braum. Not a great target to open on, but and then they get 2-man shockwave. Still not terrible for them right now, but Leak needs to understand that his ulti 100% needs to go on double lift. Like them getting Afro getting hit with that ulti was like game losing, and then double lift dying here was like. They lost all their pressure here. And they were lucky they didn't lose mid hit because Link double bombed the creep, and so they were able to push back Lucian from pushing.
Definitely a slight misplay there, ulting Aframu as opposed to Doublelift, who, as you have both stated, was in the position to carry with 2 lives on the Vayne. It's very possible that that fight could have been turned. Let's jump into the second one, and this one, of course, is the Baron replay. I want to dive into it. Let's kind of break it down from the gank, the attempted gank in the bot lane, up to the Baron. So we're gonna be watching what happens around the Baron. Especially, I'll let you take it away. We can preface it though with what's going on in the bottom.
Yeah, so what you can't see right now is that Ryze, I mean, you can see him bottom, but you didn't see that he actually messed up his little combo. He didn't get his snare down until way too late and allowed Chris to get way too far, forced Zillion to have to flash him just as slow. Had he gotten that, this would have been slightly different. And here, I mean, they're starting Baron. Like, initially, it's not so bad, but because Vayne doesn't do enough damage at this point, and the fact that everyone's already coming in, they need this turn, but Nami's is they need to fight. But unfortunately, they try to, I mean, they just try to keep finishing Baron, and they get grouped up. They get Braum ulted, Nami ulted, or Braum ulted, Ori ulted, and then obviously Lucian's gonna be able to clean up. Exhaust is also really good against Vayne, and I mean, that's why Vayne isn't played much, is because you get negated by not only Exhaust, but Braum's shield is gonna also block your auto attacks, and plus his build wasn't exactly good for damage. Was not good for that fight.
We do have to take a look at that Orianna pick real quick because as we've seen in both of these replays, the shockwave coming across has been a huge factor in turning those team fights. So do we expect to see it banned out? Do we expect it being picked away now that CLG is moving on to the blue side and Link is a pretty proficient Orianna player?
It might be banned or picked, but to be honest, I feel like Ori isn't as much of a problem as it is just them executing. Like, it might hurt their execution to some extent, but Ori is like, it is very easy to like target as like the problem because she lands ultis that are like game changing to an extent. But what you really need to notice is that like she shouldn't have been in the position to land that ulti. It's just CLG kept messing up all their team fights and all their execution before that happened. And so Keen lands an ulti, makes it look easy, and then everyone's just like, wow, like that was amazing, when it should have been like, wow, CLG really messed that up. Like that should never have happened in the first place. I think their draft phase that game was actually really, really good. I think I would have preferred Twitch, much preferred Twitch to Vayne, but they were able to do an ambiguous Zillion pick and get a really, really good bot lane 2v2 matchup. And honestly, like I thought that they would win just off doing that and controlling the early game, but it didn't quite work out that way.
They had all tools to win, and Orianna is a punching pick, not really a pick that is like a hard carry sort of thing. So even though Ori was a deciding factor that game, I don't think it's necessarily a pick or ban. It's just a strong pick overall.
Okay, so then moving into this game, which is potentially a game or a series-ending game, let's look at CLG because, as you said, we feel like they had a fairly decent pick ban there. They got ahead early, but as a team that we know is driven by emotion, can they pull it back together and run 3 games back to win this series?
Maybe. I think if any team is going to be down 0-2 and get 3-0'd, I would pick CLG to be at the top of my list to get 3-0'd. Because I feel like they're very emotional players, and they tilt really, really easily. And this is something I've heard from multiple people, like on their staff and from a lot of other players. I want to say I have faith in that they'll turn it around, though. But I I don't know if I really have that. I don't know if I can really lie like that. I think this might be a 3-0. I don't know. I'm not gonna not make a commitment on this last game.
All right, skirting the outsides and making a prediction. I like it. How about you, Special?
I think if CLG ever had a time where they needed to win games, this is going to be the time. And, I mean, I'm not going to say I believe in them, but it would be nice to see a couple games won by CLG.
Well, we'll see if they can step back into form. We will be right back here for Game 3 between CLG and Curse Academy in just 3.5, so stay with us.
We know we're the better team, right? So.
Yep, and just stick to whatever you were doing when we were practicing. Just do it. Don't even hesitate.
2 more games, then you're in the LCS.
Unfortunately, Afromo's ability.
Finally, we've got the jump. There it is, the double shockwave with the massive combo. Dexter tries to come in and get the work done. I've been saying, Dexter can get back on your release in, and he's done it. He's gone in for the insect play onto Keen, of all people. There's the shockwave, gonna hula hoop onto no one. Afromo happy to take up this turret. Funny Fufu now, the double lift show. And actually, Afromo takes the ultimate from Ling. Now double lift gets taken down by Impactful. Curse Academy have full reign of this fight, and that whole series of plays, 1-for-1 in the bottom lane. But Curse Academy, 3-man shockwave, immediately deleting CLG off this map. Double lift goes down, triple kill for Keen. That's a decent McHale's from Afromu, but the fight is now on. This Glacial Fisher doing so well. 2-man shockwave in the backline. That's going to be the ultimate onto double lift, but he's actually going to die straight afterwards. Seraph now as well.
One more game, guys, in LCS.